Welcome back to another video where today I'm going to be going over a project that I'm doing on my property here. I am relocating and upgrading the size of the water service coming into this duplex that I have here. So come along with me. I'm going to show you what that process looks like. So for this project, what I'm doing is on the front side of my house, the water service enters in on the right-hand side of the property, the opposite side of the driveway. And where it comes in was inside of one of the bedrooms. So the meter and shutoff were located in one of the bedrooms in the lower unit. So what I was looking to do is move the service from that corner of the house to the driveway side so I can bring in a new service on the driveway end, as well as get 4 additional submeters installed for the water service. So let me take you outside and I'm going to show you what the front of the property is looking like and where the service is coming in and where the trenching is going to be done. So let's jump outside. So what I've got here is I had 5 yards of bedding sand dropped off here. So we're going to be starting the trenching here. We're going to go down just above the footer under the frost line so I can drill the line from the inside out, and then I'm able to sleeve it and run it through. The trench is going to cut across the tip of the garden through the tip of the parking spot I have here, and we're going to come through the front yard on a diagonal. And as we get towards where the water line is underground, we're going to cut out straight, and I'm going to be cutting and tapping into the water line here. So once all the excavation is done, I'm going to lay down about 4 or 5 inches of the bedding sand, and then I'm going to tap in and run the line across here. We're going to cut back through, and then we're going to enter into the foundation, into the basement, through this part of the wall here. So because of how busy I was and the fast timeline that we were setting, I didn't actually get a chance to do any filming during the excavation or installing the water line, but I've got the trench here. And of course, we had the first snowfall of the year. This is mid-November right now. So we excavated on the Saturday. The weather was great. And over Saturday night into Sunday, we got some wet snow. And from Monday night into Tuesday, we got quite a bit of snow. I had my city inspection on Monday and we got the go ahead and approval to do the backfill. So the water line, I have covered it up, but it enters into the house down here and it follows underneath the gas line through that little route there. And it's going to route itself down to the curb stop here. So the line follows all the way through here up to the curb. So the line is located just here behind the curb stop. So down in the bottom, you can see the connection point where we connected onto the old line. And again, it's running all the way back that direction to the house. This is Tuesday during the week. So we had our inspection yesterday with the city, and we have backfill as well as the new meter scheduled to be installed tomorrow, which is Wednesday. So let me show you inside of what the new location looks like coming in the house. So this is where the new line is stubbing out here. We've got it coming through the foundation about 12, 13 inches above the slab. And I left quite a bit of excess line here, so the meter installers have a ton of line to play with. You have to be inside of 18 inches of where it enters the house. So the meter will more than likely be installed somewhere in this portion here. And what I'm going to do is tap in above the water tank and bring a line down and over into the meter. We're going to have a shut off just where we've tapped in so we can isolate the water on the water tank. I did grab a couple clips of me just kind of walking through the trench and showing you what the line install looked like before we actually got the snow, and as I got the approval to start backfill, as I covered the line with the sand. So I'll show you those 2 clips now. I didn't film them correctly. I just filmed them on my phone kind of as I was walking throughout the day. But let me show you those, and then I'll be right back and we'll kind of go over and I'll show you everything once this is actually all finished and the new meters installed. So it's been a couple days since I completed the upgrade for the water line. I had my roughing inspection with the city and we passed. We got the go-ahead to refill our hole. So we do have a ton of excess dirt at the moment that I'm going to have to deal with. I have to recreate the parking spot here. So the plan over the next few days is to take some of this excess out for now and we'll dispose of it after. But we have refilled the entire trench right now into the front yard. And I also had the new meter installed. So let me jump back inside and I'm going to show you what that looks like. So the new meter was installed a day and a half ago. So we've got the line coming through the wall. I need to tape this corner now and I need to cut off the excess tracer wire to attach it to the meter. But we've plumbed in the new shutoff here, which runs up and connects into the household plumbing. So the other thing that I needed to do was, since they took back the original meter, I have broken up a bit of the floor, cut back the water line underneath the slab and filled that back in. And I started my first coat of mud in that room. So you can see here, I got my first coat of mud on the corner here. So I have a patch on the wall, an inside corner, as well as an outside corner. And then on the bottom here is where the line used to stub out. So I broke up about a hole this big. I chipped it up with my SDS and then I cut the water line below the slab. It was already dead outside, which is good. So there was no residual water inside. And I filled the hole in the water line with hydraulic cement. So that's permanently sealed now. So the next thing that I need to do, now that we have the meter installed, the water's back on, and I have it plumbed into the house, I have to call in my final inspection. So the inspector can come in, see that the meter's on and the water's on with no leaks. After we're done that, we're going to start working on preparing the rest of the building permit for the new build, as well as start getting ready to do the division for the water on the house so we can get everything separately metered. So once I finish up with the permit here and I get the new meters kind of set up and plumbed, I'll show you what that looks like as well. So now that I've completed the project here, I'm going to take you into the back bedroom where the original water meter was. So everything was repaired down here. I got the new flooring installed, all the drywall is finished up, new trim, and we've repainted the walls here. So this end is done. Let me take you over to the furnace room where I'm going to show you the new meter, the new water main, as well as the 4 sub-meters I installed. So we're inside of the furnace room here, and you can see I have the manifold for the 4 sub-meters. So a hot and cold for the upper unit, a hot and cold for the lower unit, as well as the cloud metering system. We have the tankless water heater here, and then we've got everything plumbed down. So what we did here was I brought in the new line here. We had a new meter installed and it jets over to a shutoff so we can isolate the meter if it was needed, as well as I added a garden hose bib here. So if we have to do any service work, we can shut down the meter on the left here and we can drain out the entire system or isolate specific lines. If you need to drain just the hot for the lower, we can shut off the supplies here for it and drain out just the hot off the garden hose here. So that is a really nice touch here that we added for servicing in the future. So overall, the project didn't take that long once the excavation was done. So we excavated inside of 1 day. The following day, it came back, laid out the bedding material, attached the new line. We had our inspection the following day, and then we got the approval to do all the backfill. And at the point of backfill, that's when the city came back in and we got the new meter attached, which was great. And then the following day, after the meter was attached, we got everything plumbed back in just to have water back onto the property. And then about a week after that, the manifold was pre-built, and then the manifold got plumbed into the plumbing system of the house. And now that this is all done, we're able to isolate each water usage for each individual unit, their hot and cold, and direct bill all the tenants their water portion directly. So I've got a video actually set up for the submetering. So I showed how I built the system and how it works. So if you're curious about that, go check it out. It's a pretty cool system here with the cloud metering, where most municipalities on smaller residential or smaller commercial properties only allow 1 meter off of the city. So adding these submeters inside past the city's water meter gives you the ability then to charge out the water usage to each individual unit. So if there's any questions about any of these items or how this process went for me, leave me a comment, like, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.